So as you guys can tell by the title, I don't really have a dream job. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And I feel like technically I'm supposed to be like living the dream, right? Like I did everything right in terms of like societal standards, right? Like I went to college because I grew up thinking that college was like the only option. I wanted to major in psychology, I remember, and everyone told me that psychology was not going to make me any money, so I switched over to marketing, which is basically like the psychology of capitalism when you think about it. So I switched over to marketing and I now work for one of the biggest corporations in the world, and I make a lot of money. Like I make good money for someone coming out of college. I have a nice apartment. I'm able to afford trips and the things that I want and clothes that I want. And I'm very grateful to be in the position that I'm in, but I feel like I'm supposed to be happy. I really thought that once I got here, I would be satisfied, but I'm not. In reality, I feel really low energy when I wake up in the morning. My alarm goes off and I have like this instant feeling of like dread, like this like weight on my shoulders and like this kind of like anxiety. And I know for me, I feel this feeling of like, if I'm not productive, if I'm not hustling, then I will not be financially stable and I cannot afford this lifestyle that I've been taught that I should want. And even when I'm resting, like even on the weekends, I feel like I'm just honestly resting to refuel myself for the next work week. And I don't think that this feeling is natural. Like I don't think that this hustle culture and this anxiety that's a lot of times rooted in feeling like you have to perform at your best at all times and you have to bring so much of yourself to a 9-to-5 job that really you don't actually value. I don't think that that's natural. And I feel like we've normalized this and we've normalized the anxiety and the depression that comes with this overproductive culture because we've been taught that this is the only way to live. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's plenty of people who love their 9-to-5 job. There's plenty of people out there who love going to school and love class, and this is their dream life, and that's totally fine. But I'm realizing more and more that there's way too many people who don't feel the same way. There's way too many people who wake up every single day and feel a sense of anxiety and dread about starting their day because they're spending a majority of their days doing things that they don't love because they've been taught that that's the only route. And I think because it's so unnatural, we kind of start to numb ourselves to how it actually makes us feel, right? Like I know for me in college, I learned that you deal with stress and you deal with being overproductive by drinking. Like I know for me, I've seen some of these smartest people numb themselves with drugs and alcohol on a daily basis to deal with how stressed they feel and how much pressure they put themselves under in order to be successful. And a lot of people, even if they're not doing drugs or drinking all the time, a lot of times people will turn to escapism in order to ignore what's actually going on in the world, right? So it's like binging Netflix for hours a day or getting lost in reality TV. It's like there's so many different coping mechanisms that you could choose in order to escape your actual reality and pretend like you're not actually unsatisfied with the life you're living. There's no question why so many people in this country from such a young age, even like starting in like middle school or high school, start getting such bad depression and anxiety or other severe mental illnesses as a result of this. Yes, mental illness is a biological thing, but you have to really consider like, if there is such a bad mental illness epidemic in this country, what are the conditions that are causing so many people to have such low serotonin levels or to be so suicidal or whatever? Because there's so many of us dealing with it that it's like there's no way this is not normal. If you are feeling unsatisfied with your life right now, if you feel like you're dreading going to work or you're dreading going to class, or if you feel low energy when you wake up in the morning, you are not alone. It's not natural, and there's a reason why so many of us feel this way. We're conditioned from a young age to think that we're supposed to be this stressed, that we're supposed to only rest as a reward for work. And when you look at other countries and you see them working to live and not living to work, it's kind of baffling because it's like, damn, other people live differently than us. And we actually don't have to live this way. I feel like so many people are realizing this, especially with 2020 and with all of our realities kind of shifting and us really taking a look into what actually matters to us. And I think a lot of people are realizing like this shit doesn't matter. And also this shit is not real. And I think the funny thing about capitalism, especially capitalism in America, is that it's designed to make us believe that it's the only option. And you're made out to believe that your anxiety or your depression or your just unsatisfaction with your life is your problem, when in reality, it's a societal problem. And it's also designed to be this way. This feeling of success and what it means in America seeps into your everyday psyche, right? It's like, okay, if I don't go to college, I could possibly be a failure and be poor and homeless for the rest of my life. So let me go to college and get a degree. If I don't pass this class, then I may not get a degree and I could possibly be poor and homeless for the rest of my life, right? If I don't study for this test for 8 hours today, then I could possibly not pass my class and possibly not get a college degree and be poor and homeless for the rest of my life. So the things that we do, we start to actually do them out of fear instead of out of love for them. Start to make these decisions in our lives that are less about what we actually love and what we actually want to do as human beings, and more about what is going to make us safe. And at the end of the day, I know for me that I don't want to live in fear. Like, I don't want to live and wake up every day in fear that if I don't log into my job and answer some emails today, then I might be homeless for the rest of my life. And again, it's not so direct, but that's what it really comes from, right? Because again, it's seeping into your psyche. And for me, as I think about what I really want to be spending my days doing, I don't have a dream job. I don't want to have to spend the rest of my life working so I can travel twice a year. I want to travel whenever the fuck I want. I want to make content that helps people and inspires people. I want to pursue fashion and help style people and help them find really dope pieces. That's what I want to do, but I don't want to have to do them out of fear. I want to pursue whatever passions I want, but I want to do them not out of me needing to make money from other things, but I want to do them out of my love for them. And the idea that you have to monetize your passions and your hobbies, the idea that you have to get a stable job if you can't monetize your passions and your hobbies is bullshit, and it also comes from fear. So what I encourage you to do is really think about what your purpose is, but think about it in terms of not a job. Don't even think about it like in terms of like income. Think about what you actually feel like your purpose is here on this earth. And honestly, that could be changing all the time. We've been taught to think that we have to work this one job for the rest of our lives. You're a human being who's constantly changing, constantly learning new things, and you may have a lot to contribute to this world and this universe that you may not even know about yet, right? But whatever your purpose is, or whatever you feel like your purpose is right now, try not to think of it from a fear-based mentality. Whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, as corny as this sounds, the universe is going to conspire to help you get there. For me, I knew that I wanted to do content for a really long time. So for a long time, when I got my 9-to-5 job, I was making content, but I was kind of doing it like out of fear. Because I was like, okay, how can I get out of my 9-to-5 as quickly as possible by making money from my YouTube channel? So I started posting a lot of videos that I thought were gonna get me views, and I was really so focused on the views and how much money I could be making from my YouTube. So I was almost making content out of fear because I didn't want to be in my current position anymore. And at some point at the end of 2020, I started to let go of that fear, and I finally started making content that I felt like was actually serving my purpose. I started making content that I actually really was passionate about, like fashion, or giving people advice on how to do social media full time, or now giving people advice on how to just live their dream lives. This is what I've been saying that I want to do for like years. And the second that I stopped overthinking it and making content out of fear is when I started finally growing. Like my channel, my TikTok, my Instagram, everything is growing now. And it didn't happen for me until I stopped looking at my content from a fear-based mentality. So whatever it is that you want to do, whether it be traveling the world or doing social media full time, or even if you want to just go live on a farm and grow some plants somewhere, do whatever it is in your power to pursue it. And while it sucks that a lot of us are in positions that we don't want to be in because we've been convinced that we have to be, like if we're in college because we feel like we had to go, and now we're in student loan debt, and then you have to work a 9-to-5 to pay off your debt. It sucks. It's a shitty position to be in. But I encourage you to still try to make as much room as possible for whatever it is that you're passionate about. And again, do those things without fear. You have to be present, and you cannot rush the process, because again, if it's something that you actually love and it's something that is serving the greater purpose of this universe, it will work out. Everything will come naturally. You don't have to have a dream way of monetizing your life. You can live whatever life you want. So do things every day to be present and to be aware of what's going on. Meditate, work out, journal, read. Do what you have to do to stay awake and stay conscious of what's going on in this world. Don't become a zombie and be a victim to your own reality. If you don't like the job that you're working, if you don't like the fact that you're in school, do something about it and pursue what you love as early as you can. And I promise you, the minute that you stop thinking about it in terms of a physical job, you will start to realize that you can live out your purpose in any way possible. I know for me, I'm really learning this year that I don't have to live in fear. I don't have to work a job that I hate. I don't have to work any job for the rest of my life. I can just do what makes me happy and things can work out. But the only way that I can do that is if I'm present in the moment and I stop trying to escape my own reality and I just do whatever the fuck I can every single day to get to where I want to be. And I know for a fact that if you're watching this video and you're still here to the end, that this is speaking to you and that you are willing and able to do the same. So go do it. I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any questions or if you guys want me to cover anything else in any future videos. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.